All right, Chad, thank you. Purdue basketball's in the spotlight for March Madness, and who better to talk to us about the Gold and Black than the color commentator for Purdue men's basketball, Bobby Buckets Riddell, joins Sports 18's Vinny Martirato in the studio this afternoon. Vinny?
Hey, thanks, Jeff. Buckets, it's great to have you here. Let's just jump right into it. What were your first initial reactions on where Purdue is situated in the bracket and their schedule kind of moving forward?
Sure. I mean, it was really exciting to see Purdue gets that #1 seed. I felt like certainly by winning the Big Ten regular season by 3 games outright and then going on to win the Big Ten tournament, especially with that non-conference schedule we had where we went undefeated, won the Invitational out in Portland, the Nike Invitational, beating some really good teams like Duke, Gonzaga, and then, of course, getting the big win over Marquette at home, who ended up being the Big East Conference regular season champs and tournament champs. So it felt like the resume certainly warranted being a #1 seed. Of course, we did get that out in the East region. So it would have been nice maybe to be in the South region where we could have played in Louisville a little bit closer to home. But overall, you can't complain about a #1 seed, the first time since 1996 that we've gotten a #1 seed. And so that's going to be really exciting. The first couple games are going to be in Columbus here. We're going to take on the 16 seed, whoever wins this play-in game on Wednesday night. And then after that, you play the winner of the 8-9 game, and you hope to, of course, then advance on to New York City and play in Madison Square Garden.
Right, that would be awesome. And like you said, we don't know who yet we're playing out of the 2 16 seeds, but who do you think poses the bigger challenge in that first round, either Fairleigh Dickinson or Texas Southern?
Yeah, I think Fairleigh Dickinson would probably pose the bigger challenge. Texas Southern really struggled this year. They don't have a great record overall, but they did get hot in their conference tournament, and of course that's what's the great part about March Madness is anybody get hot over a couple of days, they get to have that celebration like Texas Southern did in their conference tournament. But I think Fairleigh Dickinson, probably a little bit more talented, going to pose more of a threat. I expect them to win that 16 game, but don't hold me to that.
And what do we think are some of the keys to success here moving forward, and not just for the first round, just moving, if they make it throughout the tournament, what are some of those keys to success that they have to maintain moving throughout?
Sure, yeah. Certainly a couple constants that were pretty successful game in, game out, and that has certainly been our rebounding and our domination of the free throw margin. A lot of that, of course, is Zach Edey and his presence on the glass and then his ability to draw fouls. So we have that going for us, and that's kind of a constant. But the two things that have certainly varied from game to game is the three-point shooting and the turnovers. Those probably the 2 keys for Purdue moving forward. If they can keep the turnovers down, I'd say, under 12, and then if they can get the three-point shooting around 37%, Purdue's going to be a really tough team to beat. Of course, any one game, you never know how you're going to perform, so hopefully Purdue is able to get hot at the right time.
Yeah, and have you gotten a chance to talk to any of the players, see how they're feeling coming up Friday being, the first big game that they got?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I was able to, of course, be there in Chicago where we celebrated the Big Ten Tournament Championship. That was exciting. Was able to be with the team and the coaching staff while we watched the selection show. That's always fun, especially after a win. Last year we were also in the Big Ten Tournament Championship game. We fell short against Iowa, so the mood when you're watching the selection show after a loss, not nearly as fun. This year the mood was great. Everyone was excited to see our name come up as the #1 seed. And yeah, the guys are excited. I mean, the NCAA tournament is as good as it gets. I was fortunate to be part of 3 of them as a player. It's just such a unique experience. The atmospheres are unbelievable, and that's why they call it March Madness.
Absolutely. And Buckets, it was great having you here. Glad we got to answer a couple of those questions moving forward. And we'll see how Purdue fares on Friday when they take on, like we said, one of those 2 16 seeds coming in. Reporting in studio tonight, Vinny Martirato, Sports 18.